Hello.
Let's. Hello.
Hello.
Let's do this.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hold on. Let's hope your internet works better this week.
It's working right now. It worked. It's been working all day. No promises though.
Cool.
We are multi. Yeah. We are live multi-stream.
Whoa. Do we always do that, or is that new?
Yeah, we always.
Now recording.
We always do.
So I used that Streamlabs thing.
Yep.
Right. And I loaded into. I figured, I'll just go ahead and log into the Highwind Herald, with YouTube. Yeah, it was not a good idea because I had all your crap in there, and I was immediately overwhelmed. So I logged out.
Yeah, that was.
I logged in. It had like all of your scenes, and I'm like,
yeah, this stuff is only organized for me. Like, if any person looks at this is the most. Oh, this is not organized, but I know where everything. It's like a messy person's room. I know where everything is here.
I was so confused. I started flickering through things. I'm like, this makes no like. I was just. I don't know where to start, so I was like, nope. I'll just logged out and just logged back in. I made a Twitch for the other show just so I could log in.
Nice.
Yeah, just so I could log in. Okay, are you ready? I think I'm ready to just start.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Cool. I'm just going to verify that we're on 81.
We're on 80.
I don't think we're on 80. I think we're on 81.
Are we?
Audacity Files, episode 80. Yep, we're on 81.
We're on 81?
Yeah.
Off on the titles of. Did I not stream last week?
I don't know.
Because 13 days ago, I have episode 78.
You streamed because you kept talking about how bad the VOD was going to be.
Yeah, that was a Distant Worlds review.
I did. I mean, you bailed on me 2 weeks in a row. Remember, I did like a solo episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're right.
And I named them almost the exact same thing, which was dumb, but.
81. What are we talking about today?
Whatever you want.
Kupo Quest.
Do you have anything to say about the Nintendo Direct or anything like that?
Yeah.
There's some Square Enix stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot about that.
I'll let you do that.
I definitely. Well, I mean, we can both do that. I don't have a lot to say, but it was pretty cool. All right, whenever you're ready.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 81 of Highwind Herald. I'm Wolfkins. I've got soloists here with me rocking an awesome branded polo, Highwind Herald. Look at that.
Oh,
you can't look if you're listening to the podcast, but just close your eyes
and imagine
a gray polo with the Highwind Herald logo on it.
Imagine all these people.
We're going to get sued for that.
Talking about Final Fantasy.
All right, listen, I got your trivia for the week. You ready?
Yeah, what's up?
In Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, God. No, I don't know.
What? It's not that bad. What region is Ul'dah located?
Thanalan.
Hey, you got it.
Thanalan. That one's easy to remember. It sounds like gelatin. Thanalan.
Yeah.
It sounds like an 80s song.
What about Gridania?
It is in. Okay, come on.
It was a backup toss between those two.
The Black Shroud or the.
Hey, you got it. Yeah, also known as the.
12's
Wood.
The 12's Wood, and then the other one's Lenoska.
Yeah. Lenosia.
Lenosia. Whatever.
I don't really know how to pronounce that one. That's why I didn't go for that one. Yep, there you go. Cool. Good job. I wasn't sure how close you paid attention to the region, so I wasn't sure if that was a low ball or.
I also noticed that one of the places in the Kupo Quest is called Thanalan.
It is. We will talk about that in just a minute, but yeah, you're right. I have pulled from a lot of stuff on that, but it is a region also in Kupo Quest. Man, how has your week been? It seems so far that your internet's working better, so you haven't dropped out yet, which is great. We're like
Praise.
2 minutes in, so
yeah. Last night it was good, but the night before it did go out. So I don't know. I've been good. I'm still playing through Final Fantasy VI. I just got done with Zozo.
You're gonna pass me.
I don't know. I did go a little slower this week. I did just get done Zozo, with a place where you get chainsaw.
That place.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like that place. Is that where you have to climb the buildings and everything?
Yes.
Everybody's like, okay. Yeah.
I'm surprised how fast I went through it. I'm surprised how much I've remembered about this game so far.
Yeah.
Because I've not played it in years, and I'm not using a guide. Like
I haven't touched it.
All the
since that Sunday.
All the important hidden treasures I remember where they're at. So that's so far I'm pretty impressed with myself. But
do you remember which treasures you're not supposed to pick up?
No, I definitely did not remember that because I know I wasn't supposed to pick up anything in Narsh, and I did. Yeah. So I've already messed that up.
I just went ahead and got them. Like, I'm following a guy, but I was like, I don't want to remember to come back here.
Yeah,
so I just picked them up.
I already forgot. But I'm playing. I really forgot how insane. Like, I stayed in the Veldt for a while. Because you can farm those satellites to get green berets, which is like the best headpiece for so long in the game. And if you find the guard leader and use Leap with Gaw, he is your best character for so long. It's unreal. Give him 2 earrings and he uses Wind Slash. He's doing like 800 damage to everybody.
Wow.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
I finally got Magicite, which is like my favorite part of the game. Because you can put it on, it's like, well, I don't care about doing magic on lock, but like this one gives me +1 strength with every level, so I'm gonna give it to him so his strength can get out the roof. And I give him Genji Glove, and he can be crazy.
You know another game that does that? Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh,
with the GFs, they have special abilities that do that. Yeah, so
I do like that. I do like that mechanic.
Interesting,
but I don't have to sit there and draw stuff in Final Fantasy VI.
You know what though, with the remaster, that's really not a big deal. That 3x speed makes that so much sweeter.
3x speed. These games are unplayable without speed ups.
You know what?
All of them are.
If you asked me back in the 90s, I would have said you don't need it, but today you do, and that's why I really want a Legend of Dragoon. This is way off topic. But I want a Legend of Dragoon remake or remaster because I tried to play that game a couple years ago, and I love that game, and it was so slow, man.
I've never played that game.
It's like Final Fantasy IX going into battles. It's like, when I'm like, oh god,
yeah.
Come on.
Also off topic, that's not why I want an Eternal Sonata remake. I just want one. Because I missed that game, and I don't want to plug up my PS3 to play it.
You already got one, though. Like, they already remastered that, so...
They've remade that game, really, for PS3.
Did they?
But they need to do it again. God, it's such a good game.
I've been a little bad this week, actually. I have done next to no Final Fantasy, and I'll tell you why.
I've not done a lot. 6 is basically all... I did want to log into 14 and do a miscue the other day. I was really... I got the itch. I was like, I want to do it on stream. It's something good to do. Wrath comes out on the 26th in 6 days. I figured if I'm going to do it in the next few months, I've got to do it before then.
You got to do it now.
I've got to do it before then.
I have a huge desire to finish the MSQ. This is not one of those situations where, like, I'm bored. That's not it. It's a combination of 2 games releasing almost simultaneous. Disney Dreamlight Valley is my new crack, man. I'm loving that game. And closer to Final Fantasy, Square Enix just released the 3rd installment of the Voice of Cards. So I've been playing that. So I've still been doing my JRPG fix, but it's not been a Final Fantasy. I haven't touched 6 since the car ride home from Distant Worlds.
Man, I cannot believe you have such a wall with that game. Of all of them, you played through. It's like, the narrative of Final Fantasy 2 is actually pretty good.
The narrative of Final Fantasy 2 is really good.
It was pretty. I don't think it was that bad.
It is good.
You get to literally one of the best JRPGs of all time, you're like,
Final Fantasy 2 gets way too much hate. That's all I'm saying.
I think it does get a little too much hate, but I don't think a lot of it's unwarranted.
Oh God!
I do think it is overhated, though. I will.
You know what's better than Final Fantasy 6? Voice of Cards: The Beast of Burden so far. I'm really liking it. I
that
love
was
this series.
You think that was a smooth segue, but that probably just made a lot of people mad.
Yeah, they're fine. I know, probably. I love this whole series. I mean, if you haven't checked out the Voice of Cards series, it's great, especially as fans of Final Fantasy. I think you'll like it. It's got a very old school turn-based battle system that's really smooth. Really, it's just really clean. I like how it plays. This one, they're all a little different. This one, you actually get the monsters to use as your abilities instead of just each of your characters having different abilities. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, check it out. But that's been my closest to Final Fantasy. Oh, I did hit level 10 on my Island Sanctuary. So
hey, that's news.
Oh no, I forgot to set up my. Oh crap! My little mammoths aren't making anything for me right now.
Oh, so it's got mechanics like that where you can like set up workers to work for you, like, and they do like tasks while you're gone. That's kind of like, I hate to say it. I really hate to say it because I don't mean to apply the same stigma to it. Don't take this as a negative, but it kind of reminds me of a Garrison a little bit. But I'm sure it's not as bad.
Well, it's not really the same because they had so much of the actual mechanics of what you're supposed to be doing tied to that. This is purely side stuff.
Well, that's good. That's how it should be.
But here's the thing. The mammoths require a weekend. They require 2 days off a week where you can't make them work. Which I think is kind of not the ones that go out gathering. So there's two. There's the ones that work in the workshop and build stuff and sell it for you. You have to give them 2 days off a week. But the ones that go out in the field to actually pick up supplies for you, they work 7 days a week.
I feel like there's something really not okay about that.
I know.
I feel like there's something people are. Maybe I'm reading too into it.
But here's the thing. At least I had enough food, so all of my animals are being fed.
That's the important part, though.
That is the important part. I can't believe I forgot to do that. And I'll tell you why I forgot to do that. This is not a Disney podcast, but man, Dreamlight Valley is so much fun.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
It's so I can't stop. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Disney. We're not here to talk about Voice of Cards, even though we should. We're here to talk Final Fantasy and related things. So I think the first thing we should talk about is what we said we would talk about last week. Just, again, not really Final Fantasy, but there was that Nintendo Direct, and Square Enix had a kind of a nice showing, I thought. Do you have any takeaways, any highlights from that Direct last week? Because I know you absorb everything.
Yeah, so that was 2 days. 2 days. That was one day that there was a Nintendo Direct and a PlayStation. What do they call it? State of Play.
State of Play. Yeah.
The State of Play, correct me if I'm wrong, really didn't have anything in this circle of like Square Enix or anything. They didn't have like
not anything. As much. No, I don't think so. I mean, that they had things I was hyped for, like Tekken, but it wasn't. Yeah, I don't think anything that's necessarily related, unless I totally forgot about something.
So
no, they always air those right as we're having dinner, so I never get to watch this. It's always like 6 o'clock.
I watched the Nintendo Direct while I was at work, and I have no shame in that at all. But yeah, I watched the State of Play while I was like playing WoW. No, I was in a meeting while I watched it, and I wasn't a fan of it. Not that I thought
at 6 p.m.
Yeah, I was in Zoom. It's not that it was bad. It's just it didn't really have anything I cared about. But off topic, I will say I'm not a fighting game guy, but Tekken 8's trailer was really well done.
Yeah, Tekken's great. I mean, Tekken's my favorite fighting franchise.
I'll just go through here and list off the things that I'll just go ahead and list off everything because there's not that much. They announced Fire Emblem Engage, which I guess is just a new installment in the Fire Emblem series. Cool. I'll skip this one because it's going to be a big topic. Pikmin 4, pretty big deal with that one. Yeah. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 got an official name.
Pass. Who cares? Just go.
Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. But Breath of the Wild 2 has officially been renamed to Tears of the Kingdom. So I wonder what that, I don't know. It Takes Two is coming to Switch. Fatal Frame is getting a new game. Apparently they do DLC for Xenoblade 3. Get drawn into these.
Xenoblade 3, that's not Square Enix.
That's not. It's Monolith Software.
But it's a like a JRPG, right? I've not really played it.
Yeah, they're very Xenoblade 2 is very good.
Yeah, I've heard really good things.
New N64 games coming, a lot of them, all the Mario parties 1 through 3, and we're getting GoldenEye.
I don't care. Just give me Mario RPG, people.
Yeah.
I don't care about any other games. I really don't.
2 Intel and 2 Front Mission remakes. I don't even know what that is. One of the many. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't. Okay, so Front Mission, if I'm remembering correctly, this is kind of related because I think it's a tactical game, kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics.
It looks
if I remember, but kind of like Gundam-y.
Yes, it's what it looks like.
Okay, yeah. So that's exactly what it is. So it plays, because I remember playing that back on the PS1 era. It plays pretty similar to Final Fantasy Tactics.
So it seems like they announced 3 remakes of that series.
Wow.
One of the many farm games they released, A Wonder of Life and Forgotten Valleys awaits.
Nobody cares because Dreamlight Valley is the king. So keep
there
going.
you go. Post-launch Splatfest. So I'm using back the stuff that doesn't matter to us. Well, it doesn't matter to the show really.
Sure.
Fairy Tale Life and Fae Farm. I don't know.
That sounds fun.
A really big one, which is going to be one of 2 main topics today. I'm going to skip. Mario plus Rabbids game. I didn't like the first one. Rune Factory 3, which I think you said you were really excited for. Was it Rune Factory or Harvestella?
Harvestella. That's the Square Enix one. Yeah. Okay. And I don't know if you've gotten to that yet, so I'm not trying to jump ahead, but they released the demo for that.
Oh, have you played it?
So it's I haven't, no, because it's Disney Dreamlight Valley. But no, I really need to. But yeah, it's the Square Enix kind of. From what I understand, it's a farm sim kind of game, plus with like dungeon delving as well.
Yeah.
So no, I haven't, but I plan to.
Hey, if you think that sounds fun, you should play Stardew Valley because it is a farm sim game with dungeon diving.
But I'm gonna play the Square Enix one first.
Fair enough. The more N64 games apparently mix it up on Nintendo Switch. I don't know what that means. Atelier Raza. I can't say. I don't know.
I don't know. I love listening to you pronounce stuff.
Wave 3. We got a sneak peek at Wave 3 of the Mario Kart Deluxe DLC. Golf is coming to Nintendo Switch Sports, which I forgot they actually released. Just Dance.
You know what
would
be
stuff.
fun? Sorry, this is off topic.
Yeah.
You know how we've been always talking about like random Final Fantasy mashup games?
Mm-hmm.
I want like a sports game.
A sports game with Final Fantasy?
Yeah, some kind of one of those like tennis, like Final Fantasy tennis.
I guess
like in the vein of like Mario Tennis.
Yeah, I guess the closest you got is that Mario 3-on-3 sports things that had a black mage and stuff in it.
They had an old Looney Tunes one for Super Nintendo that I love.
I remember that.
But game. Yeah, the closest Final Fantasy was probably that one.
I think that would be a goofy concept. Make it a Chocobo game. I mean, Chocobo fits perfect for that.
It fits with the Chocobo. Anyway, keep going.
Can you survive the Season of Death in Harvestella? So there's Harvestella.
Yes.
Bayonetta 3, which is big deal for some people. I've never played them.
Yeah.
Perpetual Rain, the City of Perpetual Rain, which I think is it's like a one of those like graphic novel games.
Oh, I love those.
Resident Evil Village is coming to the cloud, which I think cloud gaming on Switch is a little
I'm
curious.
too big of a chicken.
You've got I need to play that game. Kirby's Return to Dreamland is getting a remake, which that's funny enough. The game I didn't get that Christmas, I got a TV instead. So I thought about that.
Is that one?
That's the game. And I did end up getting it and remember thinking it wasn't as good as I thought it would be.
That's
but
great. You put it on a pedestal, man.
I did. I do want this game. And one big deal for me is the remaster of Tales of Symphonia is coming to Switch, which
sure.
The newest software you can play that on is PS3. So this is a pretty big deal. Next up is
Tales games have been kind of. I've been hearing a lot of those lately. What was the most recent one? Tales of.
I don't remember the name.
Oh, people talk about it a lot.
But this is like the Final Fantasy VII of the Tales of series. I mean, it's fantastic. I've played it. It's fantastic. Okay. So the 2 I left out, and we can go over in whatever order you want. I don't care.
Whatever order you want to do, let's do the opposite.
Gotcha. So we've got Octopath Traveler 2, which was and Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Final Fantasy, I'd never played Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm, but I wasn't in a million years expecting an announcement of this is like a new one. Literally, there's over 300 songs.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Now, I never played the original one either, but I love that Kingdom Hearts game, the one that they just came out with, and I just like rhythm games. I really do. And I really like rhythm games that I can play with a controller. Now, that's not to say I don't really miss the highlight of Guitar Hero
Of course.
God, where did those games go? You know, those were fun, but it is also nice not to have all those extra peripherals. But yeah, the Kingdom Hearts one was great. And I think Final Fantasy has even better music than Kingdom Hearts. No offense to Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy's got more of a range, I guess, because Kingdom Hearts stays kind of consistent to its tone, whereas all the tones of the other games are different.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I saw that. I was like losing my mind. That was the most hype for me, actually. And I know that sounds weird, and this might turn out to be like the Chocobo racing thing where I was super hyped for that and then super disappointed. But I hope not, because I'm really excited about this one. Now, have you played any of those? You never played the Kingdom Hearts one either, did you?
No, I never played it.
Okay.
I am excited as crap for it, though, because it just seems so fun.
They are fun.
It seems like it'd be a very fun game to stream. Like,
oh yeah,
super fun to play.
Put it on super hard and see how far you can get.
It'd be cool if there was an online mode so we could do a Hangouts for it.
There may be. Who knows?
Yeah.
Now, the Kingdom Hearts one did not have an online that I know of, but it did have multiplayer, so I could, play with someone else in the same room. I can't remember if I could play online or not. I really got to get back to that game. I almost beat it, and then a bunch of other stuff came out, and I just forgot to.
I'm excited. I mean, it's just a rhythm game with Final Fantasy music. In 35 years, I think they're going to incorporate more than the last one had.
Probably. When was the last one? I mean, it's been a while.
It's been on.
Did it even officially get the last one? Did it even officially get an American release, or was it?
Yeah, it did.
Only
in
Japan. Okay. What was it for?
3DS, I think.
Oh, that's why I never saw it.
I think it was on 3DS.
I had one of those, but man, I don't think I've ever wasted more money in my life than on my 3DS.
Yeah, you didn't play anything on it.
I played tennis. Was there a Mario Party game? No, I don't even think I got that. Oh, Super Mario World. Every time I buy a Nintendo product, the first thing I play is Super Mario World.
Of course.
It doesn't matter as long as it exists on there.
Yeah,
I got the SNES Classic, Super Mario World.
I didn't
got
even
my
play
Switch, Super Mario World.
It's one of the best games ever. I think it is your favorite game ever, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I go back and forth, but I think that it has to have number one. I'm not playing any other game as much.
It's hard to say. It's hard. Yeah, I mean, seriously, you had 2 cartridges, both full of 100% files growing up.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that you loved that game.
I really do love that game.
It
just doesn't get old.
No, it's so good. But yeah, Final Fantasy, after Distant Worlds, I've definitely decided has like the best music of any gaming franchise. So it's like, this is going to be a good rhythm game with good music.
Yeah,
so
for sure. And I like rhythm games anyway. Nothing will ever top Donkey Konga, I don't think.
No way, man.
As much as I just said a minute ago about not needing peripherals, those bongos are pretty great.
If they ever make a Donkey Konga game without the bongos, it'll suck.
Oh, a Donkey Konga game with Final Fantasy music. I could beat some bongos to
no Final Fantasy characters, just the music.
It's just Donkey, exactly.
The exact same thing as Donkey. Honestly, Donkey Konga 3. That popped up at a direct, I think I'd lose my mind. I think I'd actually go into cardiac arrest. I'd be so shocked.
I think the ship has sailed on that.
I sadly, I think you're right, but man, that would be great.
Here's the thing: is I love my Switch. I absolutely love my Switch. I tend to play my PS5 more. But the Switch is really starting to prove itself as kind of a powerhouse for JRPGs. I mean, it's a great place for them. It's a great console. And the handheld capability of it just makes it even better for these kind of games, I think.
It's becoming the new Vita.
Yeah, it's becoming what the Vita should have been, I think.
Yeah.
And that hurts me to say because I love my Vita. But it gets support. I mean, the Switch just gets more support than the Vita got, especially with the JRPG scene. Now, that's not to say that there aren't some classics on the Vita that were awesome. But yeah, this seems to be getting a little bit more love from that side of things.
Yeah.
But speaking of JRPGs, Octopath Traveler 2 apparently coming out.
Yes, I wish I could talk more about that. Because I never finished Octopath Traveler.
And who else never finished Octopath Traveler?
And for me, I can't speak for you, but for me, it had absolutely nothing to do with me thinking the game was bad. because I honestly thought the aesthetic of the game, the graphics, I think it's in style wise, it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. Because pixel art, HD pixel art is just, I love it.
It's got some really nice effects too, like some of the snow effects in that one town. It's got a good story. Okay. I was really liking it. And actually I still really like it. And I've actually picked it up from time to time. But I think one of the things that lost me is also one of the draws is that you've got 8 different stories kind of going on at once.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really see one through to the end. You kind of have to keep bouncing back around because of the way the levels are structured.
Yeah.
And there were some that I thought were more interesting than others. And I think I was just kind of getting a little burned out, not just being able to follow the narrative.
Yeah.
But, and I hit a boss that took me an hour to beat. Like, that was the last thing I did on that game. I was like, why is this taking so long?
That's also one thing I hate about newer Final Fantasy games, too, is like when the bosses last more than 30 minutes. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm over it. This isn't an MMO. Let me move on.
I mean, seriously, though, like, I was playing Octopath, and we were on vacation, actually. It was last year when we went to Disney. I was playing in the hotel while my daughter took a nap. And I was like, I have been playing this forever. And at the end, I checked. I had been on the same boss for over an hour.
That's nuts.
I'm like, why did this am I just that under? But I looked at the level recommendation, and I was above it. So I was like, this should not have taken an hour. I don't know if I was missing something, like a trick I was supposed to do, or, like a mechanic or something, but I beat it. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break. And then I just never made it back.
I have it on Steam. I think I'm going to just download it after this show tonight and then update next week and say I played it a little bit. Because, I mean, I am very big into WoW right now, and there's a new expansion coming out, but I don't want it to be the only thing I'm doing.
There's not a new expansion coming out. There's an old expansion coming out again.
You're so salty about that.
Just get it right. So don't call it a new expansion.
It's not new!
It's like me saying, I got a new game on my Switch. Yeah, Super Mario World.
Hey, man, I would count that as a new game. It's a good one. But
I could beat that game in my sleep.
Dude, even I've 100% in that game. Like, I love that game too. But like, I do want to download and play it because I don't want to just be playing one game. Like, I do that too. I did that for years, and I don't think I can do that anymore. I think I'm just different as a gamer, and I just don't think I can. But from my understanding, the sequel is going to have a new cast of characters. So it's not
going to
matter. So it's
same world though, right?
I didn't get the impression, but I also didn't get like the denial of that. I don't know.
Okay.
But I just got from the trailer. It seems like, though, Octopath Traveler, if they're going to do this whole model of Square Enix of having new entries and having them, maybe this is their answer, being like, hey, this is like our new Final Fantasy that calls back to old Final Fantasy. So Final Fantasy can be pushing in this new direction and be like, you want turn-based? Here's Octopath.
They've said as much, actually. Yeah. Like they've come out and said, look, Final Fantasy has always kind of pushed the genre. Like, it's always tried to move things forward, and Final Fantasy constantly is evolving. And I think that the one thing that has been constant about Final Fantasy is the fact that it's different every single time. I mean, especially once you hit 7, everything's different. So, yeah, I think what they're doing is coming out with other franchises like Octopath Traveler that are going to fill that niche. And I think that Final Fantasy going forward is going to be focused heavily on MMOs or action RPG.
Hey, I think Final Fantasy's direction is really good anyway. I really, really like where they're going. But, not a lot of people do. And if you don't, maybe try Octopath. Maybe you already have. Maybe you really like it. But Octopath, I think the graphics are beautiful. And I think the battle system was fast and fluid. And
the battle system is pretty good.
I thought it was a great game. I sold it. Because it was a classic Mickey Mouse Christmas story. I wanted to buy my family presents, so I sold Octopath Traveler and Mario Tennis Aces to buy presents for people.
I love how often you bring up that.
I know that my Mickey Mouse Christmas story. That's what I did.
It's funny because that's not even the original version of that tale, but it's just I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, the selling my harmonica to buy a necklace. No, selling my harmonica case to buy a necklace.
No. He sells his harmonica.
Oh,
and Minnie buys him a case.
And she sells her necklace to buy harmonica case.
Yeah.
So they both get cases for things they sold.
Well, yeah, he bought some. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what he bought her, but she buys him a case for his harmonica, and he's like, "Oh no!" And then it's like, "It's the thought that counts."
But then they just have empty cases. They're bozo.
But they have each other.
Rip bozo.
They have each other.
They could have each other in a classic blues harmonica song, but no.
It was Mickey sacrificing his greatest possession for his greatest love, Minnie Mouse.
I'll never love a woman enough to sell my laptop. Nope.
Why are you single again?
Nope.
It's me or the laptop, baby. Oh,
me or the laptop, baby. Oh,
I don't know why. I don't know why your girlfriend has such a deep man in that voice.
Guess I'll pick the laptop. Oh boy, but there's not much else to say about the direct. Everything else, I mean,
yeah.
I thought this was a great direct, even for like stuff like I'm not a Pikmin fan, but I mean, this is like the first
pretty fun
Pikmin game in like forever.
There's been one on the Switch.
It wasn't a new one though. It was Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is
that was like a remaster or something?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a new Pikmin game. So
like I know that there was. I have it over there.
There was a post made in 2015 where Miyamoto was like, "There's a new Pikmin coming out and it's close to done," and everyone was like, "Well, then where is it?" Finally, here's 2022, and we get the announcement of it.
That's like Kingdom Hearts development time.
I know it's crazy, but it's finally here. It's just stuff like that. It's like I don't really care. Same for Bayonetta 3. It's like I don't really care, but it's just cool to see because I know people want it real bad.
Pikmin's actually pretty fun. You should try it.
I played Pikmin when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I did like it. I couldn't beat it, but I did like it when I was young. Yeah. And then, of course, I've been hyped for Tears of the Kingdom since it got announced. Oh my god, it's gonna be Game of the Year next year.
I was a little disappointed we didn't get any additional Final Fantasy from the State of Play. Because I think they said we should be seeing another trailer soonish, and every time the State of Play comes up, everybody's like, "Woo, get your clown makeup out, here we go."
Yeah,
and so I was expecting that, but no, I wasn't expecting it. I was hoping for it.
I was expecting disappointment.
That's the thing. Well, you just gotta go into these things. Just don't have expectations, and then you just feel what you feel.
And then don't have expectations, and randomly you get Sora and Smash. So no expectations, you can have the best thing ever.
I wasn't expecting Tekken. I haven't thought about Tekken in years. It's still my favorite fighting franchise, and I can't wait.
You like
I can't even remember the guy's
Tekken
name.
better than Street Fighter?
Yeah, I'm better at Tekken.
I'm horrible
Tekken's
at them all.
Tekken's a little faster, I feel like, and I'm better at it. And there's one guy, I can't remember his name, but he's kind of a kicker. Like he kicks a lot of his attacks, and I'm just like really good with him. And I've always really liked how Tekken kind of does their story modes and things like that, and they've been more interesting to me. Street Fighter is pretty. Here's the thing: Street Fighter might actually be third because I also really like Injustice. Because that plays a little bit more like Mortal Kombat, though.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it's made by close to the same people.
It might be
people who worked on Mortal Kombat. This has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. Hey, wait a minute. Noctis is in Soul Calibur. So
there you go. Look at that. And Cloud was in that one old one. Do you remember the old arcade game like Energize or Ergenheise or something like that?
Not even kind of.
Okay. This is like the 7th time I've mentioned our old bowling alley on this podcast, but they had the arcade machine in there. Cloud was in this fighting game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I don't even remember the name of it. It's E, and it begins with an E, and I can't remember the name of it.
That's pretty cool, actually. Holy crap!
I want to say there was somebody else from Final Fantasy in it, but maybe not. Maybe it was just Cloud. Anyway,
that's insane.
Cool.
Think about it.
So that was the Nintendo Direct. I have a little bit of news, if you don't mind talking about that for just a little bit.
Have at it, man.
In this episode. So, if you follow us on Twitter, or you look at our YouTube channel, because apparently I made a video earlier, which was fun, but I'm such a noob.
I think it turned out pretty good, actually. I really do.
But, so we officially announced the show / project that I've been working on, and it is Kupo Quest. and this is going to be a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live play that I've been developing, working on my own homebrew setting that is inspired by the Final Fantasy franchise, so it doesn't take place in any one particular world. It takes inspiration from a series as a whole. So I've developed the world and the setting, and I've pulled different places. Like Soloist mentioned, Thanalin is one of the regions, and it's still kind of a deserty region. And the one city in that region is Rabanastre. So I pull from a bunch of different things, but I blend them in my own way to make a unique setting, as opposed to just, it's not like a copy paste from the games. Lots of characters going to be making an appearance as well, but also different versions of those characters. So I'm trying to make it feel more like an entry into the Final Fantasy franchise, where, you know, each new one has those threads that kind of tie them together, even though they're completely unrelated. So yeah, we officially announced that. That's what I've been working on. So far, there's been some positive feedback on Twitter. So hopefully, I was worried people would think it was dumb, but
there's some hype going around. There's some hype coming.
I'm excited. I'm excited. We are going to be doing an open call for players. I need to put together the details, and that will follow. Most of this information is going to be coming out on our Twitter page, probably. That'll be our main source of communication. And I also plan to make some YouTube videos that's mainly just maybe diving into the world a little bit, kind of giving previews of what I'm kind of anticipating. Then once we kind of find players, you know, that want to do this, we will probably either have them on the show or make a video of them and just kind of introduce them and, you know, get going. So this is coming soon. It's not anything, like I said, we're still getting ready to do the open call for players. There's still some things to be tidied up. But if you're interested in what we've got so far, you can go to kupoquest.com. That is going to take you to my Scabbard page. And Scabbard basically is a campaign manager for Dungeons and Dragons or any kind of tabletop role-playing game. And what this will do is it'll keep track. It'll be like a living document. It'll grow and expand as the world grows and expands, as the story continues. It'll have all of the session reminders, the notes. It'll have a page for each of the major characters, each of the different lands that the players will experience. Any kind of major plot points will be tracked there. So it'll kind of act like a Wikipedia page or a wiki for the campaign as we go through. And there's already quite a bit on there. You can look at the world map. I've got a timeline of the history of the world. There's some information about the deities of this world, the major political powers. That's all already on there. So I've been working
He's
for a
been doing a real
bit.
good job at this, guys.
So, yeah, D&D's like, I love it. It's so much fun.
And
so I'm just trying to learn things.
I want to go ahead and point out one important detail about this. So if you're impressed by all these details, I want you to keep in mind, I have done nothing. This is not a we thing. This is entirely a him thing. This
D&D's my thing.
If you are impressed with how much work has gone into this, this was not a 2-man job, so you should be even more impressed. This has been. He's given me input. I'm not giving any input, but I have given thumbs up stuff because he sent me ideas over the past few months. I'd be like, that's really good. I've not had to say anything's bad because nothing's been bad. So, seriously, don't give me any credit. Public announcement. Give me no credit for this. I've done nothing. This is all a him thing.
D&D's my thing. Soloist played with me once. I think you had an okay time, but you kind of said it wasn't really your cup of tea necessarily.
Yeah, it's just I really liked our first campaign that fell through, where I got to be lispy. I got to be a lispy lizard man with a bard. Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
But that fell through. But you know, it's not my thing. It's just not my cup of tea. But I think it's cool, and I think the fact that you're creating a world is fascinating.
It's been fun. It's been really fun. Now, I know I'm not the best cartographer. I'm still kind of new at all this stuff, but I was actually, like, I designed and developed the world map myself. Mm-hmm. And I found this great site, Incarnate. I've been using that. And then, of course, I mentioned Scabbard. They are great for this. So even if you're not interested in our show, but you play D&D, I would check them out.
Yeah.
And there's some other options out there, but Scabbard's is the one that kind of hit what I was looking for. So yeah, if you don't care just a little bit about what I was planning, this is going to be a D&D game built on the base rules, so it will still be using the base classes for D&D. I know that there are some supplements out there that are more Final Fantasy specific. I can't remember the exact name, but there is somebody that's developed base classes or jobs for all of the Final Fantasy 14 jobs. I know that exists. My idea is for ease of understanding of anybody who wants to hop in. I'm sticking with the base classes, but there will be a job system layered on top of that as the game progresses. And there is also going to be a materia system to allow people to augment their gear as they go to. So I'm excited. I mean, it's nerdy, but I'm a nerd, so it fits. So if you checked out the one video I put on YouTube, I promise they will get better. That was my first attempt. I'd never used this software before, and I just wanted to like throw something out there. So it wasn't too hard to use, but I was on kind of a time crunch. So I'm like, I'm just gonna throw this out and let's.
I thought it turned out good. I thought it was entertaining. The beginning was really cool. And the music was good.
Yeah, the music was great, wasn't it?
The music was really good.
That is the official. That is going to be the official song for Kupo Quest. You've got to check this song out. I love it so much. It's Aaron Kenny, I believe, royalty free. I mean, I use royalty free music. I'm not trying to, but I do want to give them credit because the song is amazing.
Absolutely.
And I think I give the title and the artist name in the description of the video. So, and then our really awesome, I think the logo came out pretty good. Had that commissioned. I also give the artist credit if you want to check them out. I found them on Fiverr. But I thought the logo for Kupo Quest came out pretty good too. So it's all coming together, man.
I'm excited to see what you do with this. I'm really excited to see the product and watch it. I might not participate in it because I have a lot of like not free time. And I believe you're going to make this a weekly thing.
That's the plan. Okay. And I think, it'll depend on, but that's the plan for a weekly show.
Ends up not being weekly, let me know and I'll add in a spot, because if it's like bi-weekly I can definitely do it, but if it's weekly I've got raid schedules and stuff coming up and work and
I'm on the fence about whether or not I need you on the back end to like story spoil and stuff. Okay. So now even if you can't, so right now the idea is to be weekly, but even if you can't be a part of like the main cast, I do have plans to bring in guests for smaller arcs at some point. So even if you're not one of the 4 that are going to be running in it because of the schedule and all that, I definitely have an idea for you as a guest character for an arc.
Good.
So of course you can make the character, but I've got some suggestions that might tie in. But we'll have to see, because the way D&D works, what I'm thinking now is not going to be what happens, because the no intention survives your players once they hit the table. So for instance, I didn't accidentally, someone died in my last game that I ran last Sunday. And there wasn't much you could do about it. They rolled 2 natural ones with advantage on their death saving.
Well, that's not. So that's just not fair.
Well, it was sad.
That's proof that there's a god and a force that directly opposes that god.
And they hate and
they hated that character.
I felt really bad. But yeah, so the idea will be weekly. The episodes will probably be around 2 hours. That's I think for me a good length of a game. I'm not Critical Role. I can't go 4 or 5 hours in one session. Don't do that. And I'm not even near that good. So, but yeah, I'm thinking that it'll be a weekly show, about 2 hours in length. I think that's a decent amount of time for to get into some stuff for an episode. But yeah, I mean, man, even if you can't participate as a weekly cast member, I do have some ideas to bring you in as a guest from time to time, and I'd like to have that open for other people, to bring people in throughout the community if they wanted to. So, or who knows, maybe I can't find 4 people and this dies here. So
no, I think we for sure. If I don't think we'll have a hard time finding people, but I'll for sure join in. I'll for sure. I mean, we're gonna make this happen. We're not gonna have
a pity play. You're gonna give me a pity play.
Not only will I have a pity play, but I'm gonna play like I did on Valor too. I'll be like, "Can you? I'm driving. I'll be in the Wendy's drive-through. Hey, can you roll for me? Can you roll for me?
No.
I guess rage and attack. Yeah, can I get a number?
That will not fly.
Hey, you've got to admit that was really funny.
It was funny.
That
won't fly on a show.
Really funny.
He literally called in, played while ordering chicken nugget. He wouldn't mute his phone either. So he'd ask us to roll for him and then just keep talking to the person at the drive-thru while the rest of us are trying to play. And we're man. Like, at least mute, dude.
I'm so dedicated to nonsense. It's not even like I was like, if I'm going to be in the drive-thru, I may as well make it a memorable experience for everybody. So I made sure to meet, and I was talking through like my car speaker, so it was super bad.
It was
and they
awful.
Heard the car the whole way out. It was so funny.
Yep. Can't happen on a show.
Hey, it was pretty fun to play. Like if you're if you fight between podcasts and music and a long car ride, try playing D&D.
Well, yeah,
it was pretty fun.
I could play some D&D while driving, but I wouldn't want to be playing with someone while driving. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fair enough.
It wouldn't have sucked so bad if you'd had like Pixel Buds or AirPods or something, because those do a pretty good job of like cutting out the extra noise.
Nope, car speakers, baby.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Car speakers, baby.
Ooh, that's the new concept for the show. Everyone's in a car, just driving different directions, including me.
Final Fantasy 15 podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. All right.
So yeah, I will be running the game. I'll be the DM for this. I'm going to be looking for about 4 players probably, because that's a pretty good number for a D&D group. I think it helps things move a little quicker. You're able to focus each on the individual characters a little bit better, and I can keep track of 4 people. And 4 is a pretty special number with Final Fantasy party sizes. So
absolutely,
that's what I'm thinking.
I'm excited to see how this goes. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited. I'm a little nervous now. I mean, I've been excited about it, but now that I've actually said I'm going to do this,
I'm time to do it, man. The worst part is going to be setting up your Streamlabs and like being confident in it working. It's taken me a long time, and you saw how nonsensical my scenes were.
Okay,
it's taken me a long time.
So this is true. Full disclosure. This isn't just me making a joke. I have OCD. And I got into his.
You probably had a panic attack.
I had to log out. I was like, I can't.
You probably had a panic attack.
And I'm on medicine. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like I can't do this.
For instance, like right here, I have stream starting, which is my old stream starting screen, and I have actual start, which is my new stream starting screen.
What does that mean?
I have actual start. I have Logitech, which is my full cam. Stream ending, which I don't even use. Be right back, which I don't even use. In-game X4, which is what I always use. In-game X3, which is what I used one time. Speedrunning, I've used that one time. New scene, I probably don't even remember. Highwind Herald. HH starting soon. So our starting soon screen for this. Yeah. Sibjib Live and Alive. I think I was a little tipsy when I made that one. I don't even really know what that means.
You have some very specific stuff.
Yeah.
Like you had one that had someone's name with an arrow in it. Like they would always be there, whoever it was.
So that one, I almost clicked on it and I would have ruined the stream. That was from my Smash tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no! That one was I know exactly what you're talking about. That was a new scene. That was when I did a Dark Souls race with my friend Wyoming Jet, and I put he screen shared on Discord, and I was capturing my gameplay and streaming his gameplay from Discord. And I had his name pointing at his gameplay.
Yeah, I was like, why is this so specific?
That was such a good stream.
So I literally logged out and I made a Twitch account with the Kupo Quest email just so I could start a clean slate.
Yeah, listen, this is like my process is madness.
Yeah, wasn't for me.
It
wasn't for me. But I'm excited. I hope that if you're interested in either D&D or Final Fantasy, you'll be excited and you'll come along. But I'm just, it was fun. I've never really tilted my hand at world building yet. I've ran multiple campaigns, so I've ran at least 2 to conclusion, 3 pretty far, and then I'm pretty comfortable running the game. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna build my own world. I kind of want to do that. And it just seemed like, you know what? I love Final Fantasy. Let's just go for it. So then I started just kind of thinking about that. I was like, this I could make a show out of this, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm running this game one way or another. I don't care if anybody watches. I'm
absolutely, absolutely.
So cool. But that's all I wanted to say. There will be more coming on that. Keep an eye out on YouTube or Twitter. Yeah, I'm probably going to just do some spotlights and talk about some of the stuff, maybe go into detail on some of the history, the major events or something, just, as a primer. And yeah, also mainly so I can try out working with videos. And dude, I rendered my first video today and it was only 6 minutes, and yeah, it takes a while. I didn't realize how long it was going to take.
It absolutely does take a while. It's not
and then I had to upload it. That took a while too.
It's not a quick process. Man, you made it all the way up in 2160p 4K.
Yeah. Should I not have?
Lord have mercy. I don't even know how you did that.
I went to, so you gave me the
DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah, and I just Googled how to export a video, and it was step by step. This is what I should do. The video was like 6 minutes. It was like 2 gigs. I was like, why is this so big?
I didn't even know the free version. I didn't even know the free version had 4K support. That's pretty cool.
I didn't pay for it. I'll tell you that right now.
Ooh, but that's a game changer. Yeah. Anyway,
so yeah, that's what I did. But I literally just followed a YouTube tutorial. It's like, here's how you do it. Change it to this, change it to that. I was like, okay.
It's not too hard to learn. I think you'll be pretty good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I want to say. We're running up to time. I don't want to take up too much time. There will probably be, when the show comes out, I will probably drop the first episode in our Highwind Herald podcast feed. Then I might make its own feed just so it doesn't clutter up Highwind Herald. So if you're interested, you can follow the other show. But as for now, the video of the episodes will be, I've got a tag under the Highwind Herald YouTube channel right now for Kupo Quest to keep the playlist together. So that's the idea. So
absolutely.
We'll see what happens. So if you're interested in playing, just keep an eye out. I'll be putting out like what we're looking for, the rules of, engagement, I guess. But yeah, Twitter, and that's probably the place for that. So
there you go.
That's it, man. Sorry, that was long-winded. I've been talking a lot. I apologize. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about this. So
it's gonna be a good time. I can't wait.
It'll also be my first time streaming anything apart from what we do for Highwind Hangouts.
Yeah, for this, but it's fine.
Wait, you could also supposed to do a hangout this week? Is that next week?
It's next week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's next week. It'll be good. And we're gonna be doing World of Warcraft's Wrath of the Lich King.
No, Classic. We're not. No, we're not. Not doing that.
Dang it. I tried. I tried, guys.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. There will be much, much more with Kupo Quest coming up. What do you think about that name? I like the name.
I like it a lot. I think it's catchy.
That was my wife, actually.
I think it's very catchy. Kupo Quest.
I was like, I gave her a couple options. I was like, which one of these do you like the best? Like, I'm having trouble deciding. And she literally responded with, I don't like any of those. I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with that. And she was like, use this. And I was like, oh my God, that is better.
Kupo Quest, baby. I do like it. I do like that a lot.
It's got a nice ring to it, I think.
It does. So. It's catchy. It's very, very catchy.
Yeah. And it's like just short and succinct. Some of them were like too long.
As it should be. Yeah, because it's like, you don't want to get too long-winded with your names, like Highwind Herald.
Yeah. That's like so many syllables.
It's too many, man. But hey, I kid. But absolutely, I think it's a catchy, fun name. I think she did a very good job. No,
yeah, she's good at naming
don't
stuff.
Don't you say thanks? You didn't come up with.
True. It's like you take no credit for the show. I take no credit for the name.
Hey, there you go. Actually, I'll take credit for the recommendation of software. That's my contribution to this.
You did. I am using every piece of software you recommended. So
I am. That's my contribution.
There you go. I like your chair, by the way.
My chair.
I don't know if I've ever told you that. It looks comfortable.
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable because I can also like woo.
And now we've officially lost all of our podcast listeners.
Yep, we have lost our mind.
All right, man. Where can we find you?
Soloist TV, the Twitlonger not the twit longer. Sorry, there's been a lot of those on Twitter today. Gosh, I'm sorry. I just saw a tweet before I said that. What's it called? Come on.
I'm not gonna edit this.
What's it called? What am I trying to say?
Twitter.
The link tree is in the description. My God, I could not think of the name. The link tree is down there.
Yeah.
So okay. Check it out. I do a lot of stuff. I make TikToks. I have a new One Piece themed podcast because I am unnaturally obsessed. I am now, my niche on Twitch is finally landed to MMOs. So I'm basically going to regularly stream World of Warcraft, and when I get bored of that, I'm going to regularly stream Final Fantasy 14. And when I get bored of that, I'm going to regularly stream World of Warcraft. And when I get bored, you see the trend here going back and forth a little bit here.
And then when you get bored of that, you're going to find an old legacy server of that old Disney one. Do you remember that one?
Disney MMO?
Yeah, like that old, super old Disney one. It was like, what was the name of it? Something Town.
Toontown?
Toontown, that was it.
Toontown, I'm pretty sure it's still up.
There's no way.
Is
Toontown still around?
I watched a YouTube video on Toontown this year.
If you do get bored, you should try 11 eventually, for sure.
Oh, God, yeah. Toontown Online.
Toontown is still around.
It looks like it. I do
that
know
wasn't
Toontown
that was
rewritten.
An MMO.
It's Toontown rewritten, so it's new.
That was an MMO back when I was not allowed to play MMOs.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember.
Our parents did not trust people on the internet.
I remember commercials for Toontown.
I remember being like, "It's a Disney game," and then being like, "No, they're strangers."
They're strange. I don't even think you could talk to them.
Okay.
And Club Penguin.
Oh yeah.
That one's down. I will definitely be playing 11. I think when I get bored of them both, that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, play online. I'm gonna learn you and play this game. Dang it!
Need to update that. All right. Well, you can find me at Wolfkins. You can follow the show at Highwind Herald on Twitter. We have highwindherald.com where you can go and find all of our past episodes and show notes. And related to that, we have kupoquest.com, which again takes you to my Scabbard page, which you can stay up to date. If you have an account, you can follow the page. You'll get an email, it's not daily, but it only sends one a day if you're subscribed, and I make changes. So if I modify any pages, if I add any pages, you'll get a notification at the end of a day that says, hey, this one that you're following is updated, so you can look at it if you'd like. That will be where most of our information is kept because it's just such a great tool for organizing for Dungeon Masters. So, and then make sure you check us out on YouTube at Highwind Herald. That's where you'll find the VOD of this and also anything related to Kupo Quest. So.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time.
And if I quit playing Pixel Remastered on my phone, I'll start recording myself playing some of them because if I'm going to play them, I may as well make a series out of it.
Why not?
Exactly.
Who plays games just for fun?
No one.
It's only
it's kind of
making content.
Kind of cringe.
Making free content that we don't make money off.
I'm actually a little on the fence of making content out of 16 when it comes out or not. Because I kind of just want to
play it and then
absorb
content the platinum.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Ooh.
Anyway, it's Disney Dreamlight Valley time, so I gotta go.
Yeah, me too. All right, guys, it's been good.